Unmasking Satoshi Nakamoto, the enigmatic genius behind Bitcoin. In the midst of the 2008 financial crisis, a white paper surfaced on the internet that proposed a revolutionary concept: Bitcoin, a decentralized digital currency designed to operate without the need for any central authority. This white paper was authored by someone or possibly a group using the pseudonym Satoshi Nakamoto. Despite Bitcoin's rise to a multi-billion-dollar asset class, Satoshi Nakamoto's true identity remains a puzzle. Satoshi's anonymity has fueled endless speculations and intrigue. Was his privacy a philosophical statement or simply a personal preference? Before we get into unmasking the enigmatic genius behind Bitcoin, I should tell you that here we talk about everything about NFTs, cryptocurrencies, and the vast world of the metaverse. So, subscribe to learn more and stay informed. I'm pretty sure you don't want to miss anything here. The Genesis block and its hidden message. The first clue into Satoshi's thoughts comes from the very inception of Bitcoin. Embedded in the first block of the Bitcoin blockchain, known as the Genesis block, is a hidden message. The Times, the 3rd of January 2009, Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks. This headline from the Times newspaper hints at Satoshi's distrust of the traditional banking system and highlights the impulse for creating Bitcoin. This message was not just a timestamp, it was a manifesto. It underscored Bitcoin's purpose as an antidote to the financial chaos of the time. A new hope for those disillusioned by the system. Satoshi's digital footprint. Satoshi Nakamoto was very careful in hiding their identity, yet they actively participated in nurturing the early Bitcoin community. Through forum posts and emails, Satoshi discussed the technical aspects of Bitcoin, answered questions, and shared ideas, all while keeping personal details obscured. But in April 2011, Satoshi vanished. Their last known correspondence was a simple email stating that they had moved on to other things. Satoshi left behind a legacy and a fortune in unspent Bitcoins estimated to be worth billions today. Who could Satoshi Nakamoto be? Over the years, both journalists and researchers have claimed that they uncovered the real identity of Satoshi Nakamoto. So far, however, no one has managed to present conclusive evidence of his real identity. There are dozens of other Satoshi Nakamoto candidates, but these candidates have received the most attention. Adam Back. Back is a British cryptographer and a computer scientist that is associated with the CryptoPunk movement. Satoshi Nakamoto cited Adam Back in the Bitcoin white paper thanks to Back's work on Hashcash, a proof-of-work system designed as a tool for combating spam emails and denial of service attacks. Back was also in contact with Satoshi Nakamoto in 2008 and 2009, where the two discussed Hashcash. Adam Back is the CEO of Blockstream, one of the most prominent companies in the Bitcoin ecosystem. Because of the citation in the Bitcoin white paper and his considerable knowledge of cryptography and computer science, Adam Back is commonly considered as a Satoshi Nakamoto candidate. However, Back has firmly denied that he is Satoshi Nakamoto. Szabo is an American computer scientist and cryptographer that's known for coining the term smart contracts. In 1998, Szabo proposed BitGold, which was one of the first concepts for a decentralized digital currency. Even though BitGold was never implemented, it served as an inspiration for Satoshi Nakamoto. Szabo is one of the most commonly cited people in discussions about Satoshi Nakamoto's real identity. In a podcast appearance, even Elon Musk speculated in this direction. Obviously, I don't know who created Bitcoin. It seems as though Szabo is probably more than anyone else responsible for the evolution of those ideas. He claims not to be Nakamoto, but he seems to be the one more responsible for the ideas behind it than anyone else. Szabo has denied the speculation that he is Satoshi Nakamoto on multiple occasions. Finney. Finney was an American software developer that worked in the video game industry and later joined the PGP Corporation. Finney was probably the first person besides Satoshi Nakamoto to run the Bitcoin software and was also the recipient of the first ever Bitcoin transaction. In the transaction, Satoshi Nakamoto spent 10 BTC to Finney. Finney was involved in cryptographic activism and was also associated with the CryptoPunk movement. He was also an active poster on the Bitcoin Talk forum and was the author of the first tweet referencing Bitcoin. Dorian Nakamoto. A 2014 report by Newsweek claimed to have identified the real identity of Satoshi Nakamoto and pointed to Dorian Satoshi Nakamoto, a man with an engineering background living in Temple City, California. Following the release of the report, Dorian Nakamoto unconditionally denied that he was Satoshi Nakamoto and said that he did not create, invent, or otherwise work on Bitcoin. He also said that even though he had the ability to program, he had no knowledge of cryptography, peer-to-peer systems, or alternative currencies. Nowadays, not many people in the cryptocurrency community believe that Dorian Nakamoto is Satoshi Nakamoto. Still, pictures of him are one of the most common results when searching for Satoshi Nakamoto online. Wright. Wright is easily the most controversial Satoshi Nakamoto candidate. Unlike most other people who have been cited as Satoshi Nakamoto candidates, Wright openly claims that he is the person behind the Satoshi Nakamoto pseudonym. Wright is one of the most notable proponents of the Bitcoin SV project, which stands for Bitcoin Satoshi Vision. Bitcoin SV came into existence after a hard fork of the Bitcoin Cash blockchain, which is itself a fork of the original Bitcoin blockchain. Many Bitcoin SV supporters claim that Bitcoin SV achieved the goal laid out in Satoshi Nakamoto's original Bitcoin whitepaper. Outside of the community of Bitcoin SV supporters, however, Wright's claims of being Satoshi Nakamoto have been met with heavy skepticism. For example, Wright hasn't been able to prove that he controls the private keys necessary to transact with Satoshi's BTC. Whoever Satoshi is or was, the mystery of their identity enhances the legend of Bitcoin. It symbolizes the very essence of decentralization. Not one person, but a collective spirit can change the world. What's your theory? Who do you think Satoshi Nakamoto really is? Through shadows and codes, here on NFTOPIA, we'll keep exploring these stories that hover at the edge of technology and myth. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and engage with us in the comments below.